We can start, sir.
Okay. You don't want to introduce anyone, right? Okay. We'll start.
Yeah, or actually, you are introduced to them through the mail and also through the WhatsApp group.
Fine.
All students, have you gone through that about our speaker?
Yes.
Yes. Can you hear me, everyone?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, we start. Okay. Good morning, students. This is Rajit Nair.
Okay.
I am the Regional Mentor of Change, Adult Innovation Mission or Adult Tinkering Labs. Okay, so today's program, it's like Inspire, Ideate, and Innovate. As you see my screen now. Okay, so what we are trying to do is 40 minutes. It's very less, but still, we will try to inculcate some of the qualities of Steve Jobs. So before we go, I just want you to take a piece of paper. Hope you have a piece of paper and pencil next to you. Okay? And just do the doodle. A doodle like this. What you see on the screen. Just do that. Just do that. Okay. Take a piece of paper, use a pencil or pen, whatever you have, and just do this. Yeah. Okay. Once you have done, you fill the paper, you just turn around the book upside down. Okay. Okay. Now, try to figure out some meaningful pictures. You can see maybe fish, an aeroplane, a bird, number 8. What all things you can identify from your drawing. Just see. Look, Siddharth, look into your paper. Look into the paper and see what all things you can figure out. Pictures. If you have figured out something, you can just type using the chat so I can see what's going on. Hello. Hope you understood. Take a piece of paper, do the doodle, the thing you see on the screen now. Once you have completed that, if your book is like this, do it like this, and then try to figure out meaningful pictures. Definitely you will find an 8, a number 8. You may find Siddharth. You may find fish. You may get 8. Then you may get even airplane. You may get 6. Okay, keep looking quickly. Only Siddharth is active. Okay, fine. Okay, you can do that later. Normally we allow you to exchange with your partner and then the partner will figure out. That's not possible because we are doing in a webinar. Anyway, now who is Steve Jobs? Hope you know that Steve Jobs is the co-founder of Apple. Yeah, Apple Inc. Right? And you may know who is the other person, the other co-founder. Anyone? You can just type. Steve Wozniak. His name is Steve Wozniak. Anyway, Steve Jobs is known as, the icon of innovativeness. He's the icon of innovation. You know why we used to tell that Steve Jobs is the icon of innovation? He has a separate DNA altogether. The way he looked at problems, the way he looked at issues, and the way he used technology, or the way he connected the dots. That's the key point. How we connected the dots. Just think about, when you think about Apple, now we think about the half-bitten apple, right? Of an iPhone. We don't see anything else. We just think about this logo, right? This logo. That's the connection. Who ever thought that an apple, a thing which is for consumption, is connected to technology? So this is the innovativeness, connecting dots. Steve Jobs, in his famous Stanford speech, said that connecting the dots is actually the philosophy behind all these innovations or inventions. Anyway, we don't talk about inventions, we talk about innovations. Steve Jobs, why we consider Steve Jobs as the icon of innovation? Because Steve Jobs revolutionized 6 industries. If you see on the screen, you can see the personal computers. Okay, in 1984, he released the Macintosh 1, which revolutionized the personal computing. The first computer which came with a mouse. Okay, the first computer which came with a program similar to the Paint we have today. The first computer which came with the Word, similar to Word, like this. Okay, so this is how he revolutionized. You can reserve your questions at the end. I just saw Ashwin raising his hands. We can reserve all the questions at the end, right? Okay, then animated movies. Steve Jobs started a company along with Ed Catmull, and it's called Pixar. If you remember Toy Story series, Toy Story 1, 2, all those movies, actually Toy Story 1 revolutionized the animated movies. Till that time, there was only 2D kind of movies, and then along with Steve Jobs, this particular revolution happened in animated movies. And then music. At that time, when albums were released, people used to download pirated music from a website called Napster. So the band or the producer or the singers never used to get money. So Steve Jobs revolutionized the music industry by the introduction of iTunes and the iPod. Okay, and then you all know he came up with the phone, the iPhone, which revolutionized the phone industry, which came with one button, which we cannot even imagine at that time having a phone with a single button, right? And then came the tablet computers. Tablet computers were there even before iPads came, but Steve Jobs revolutionized the tablet computers. Compaq used to have a tablet computer. And then digital publishing, all the, the Macintosh series, the iMacs, all these are used in the publishing industry because these are the best tools for publishing. Okay, so he revolutionized the DTPs, the digital publishing. That's why, no one in the history of mankind could revolutionize 6 industries. So Steve Jobs did that. That's why we consider him as the icon of innovation. Now let's see what made him do all this. And can you also have that skill? Yes, I believe that innovation is a skill, and you can also, have that. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. Right. Okay. Just have a look. By 2011, October 9, Steve Jobs has issued 43 US patents, not only for computers. You can see for keyboards, for power adapters, so staircases, and all those things. Okay. He had filed 342. In 2011, he passed away. Right. Okay. Now we are going to use. There is a work done by Clayton and Christensen. This is the book you should have in your library. Okay, Clayton did a lot of research on Steve Jobs and other innovators, what they have in common. So the result of that research is this book, right? Okay, so based on the study, he concluded that such people like Steve Jobs, such people, they have 4 discovery skills and 1 cognitive skill. Okay, cognitive means something related to brain. We will go through all these skills. This is what you need to cultivate. This is what you need to develop, right? Okay, so 4 discovery skills and 1 cognitive skill. Cognitive skill, we will just leave it now, and that's called the associated thinking, which I will take you, through a game, and I will make you understand what is associated thinking. Anyway, 4 discovery skills, right? So these are the 4 discovery skills which even Steve Jobs used to have. 4 discovery skills known as, the first one is questioning. The second one is observing. The third one is networking. And the fourth one is experimenting. This is what, students, this is what you can also have. Okay, questioning. What do you mean by questioning? Questioning the status quo. Steve Jobs used to question whatever you see. When he saw a computer, a desktop computer with a noisy fan, he asked, why should a computer make such a noise, or why should a computer need a fan? So how do we keep a computer cool without a fan? The engineers started thinking. Steve Jobs is not an engineer. Steve Jobs is a college dropout, right? So engineers started thinking, and then they revolutionized the computers by, that's why today we have all the laptops and all the iPads and everything which came with no fans. So this is what you don't accept what what is the status quo. Okay, there will be hundreds of ways you can achieve the answer or solution for a problem. This is what you need to cultivate. So you need to question, you need to think, okay, is there any other way I can find a solution for this problem? Okay, so the second one is observing. We always used to say, keep your eyes and ears open and keep your mouth shut. Okay, observing, you need to observe. Okay, Steve Jobs was once invited by Xerox to their facility in Palo Alto. Okay, they invited him, and that was the biggest mistake they did. They invited him to have a look at their facility, and Steve Jobs, Steve Jobs saw a computer with a sort of a joystick, and Steve was thrilled that, that joystick, using that joystick, you can control the computer. He suddenly, the bulb, suddenly he realized the market potential of that particular joystick, and he converted that into a mouse. Okay, that's why computers started, the desktops started coming with a mouse. Okay, so this is the power of observation. If Jobs had never visited Xerox to observe what was going on there, we never will get a mouse. So observe, keep observing. So the first one is questioning the status quo. The second one is observing. The third one is networking. You need to network. Now we are practicing social distancing. We are sitting, shut inside the house because of the COVID-19, right? Okay, but still you can have the online nearness. Okay, you can chat with your friends. You can call them for a Zoom meeting, and you can talk. You can discuss ideas. You can study. Even teachers are taking classes over Zoom and other online platforms. So this is called the online nearness, because human beings are social animals. We cannot keep shut inside, away and stay in isolation. Anyway, so networking is very important. Steve Jobs met a person called Cartmell, Ed Cartmell. If Steve had never met Ed Cartmell, we will never get movies like Toy Stories and, the Lion Kings and all those movies, the Bugs Life and all those movies. So this is the power of networking. You should, keep meeting people, search for new ideas. This is very important. Okay. And so this is what anyway, I just said about networking. And the fourth one is experimenting. You need to try out new experiences. We used to do this when we were a small kid. We used to experiment. We used to, just because we experimented, now we are walking in 2 legs, right? We used to experiment a lot of things. Right. So, but when we started growing, we lost this. What Steve did is, Steve came to Delhi earlier. Okay, came to India. He walked through the streets of Delhi barefoot with a sannyasi robe, and he went to an ashram in search for a Baba, and all those experiences he was experimenting. Right? Even if he dropped out from college, he used to attend the calligraphy classes, on the side, and those calligraphy classes helped him. What we see, the fonts, because of the font. Today I could type all this. Even though Microsoft steal that idea. I mean, they just took it from Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, through Macintosh, in 1984, introduced the fonts, okay, FONTS fonts. This is what it happened. So if Steve didn't have the courage to experiment, we will never get iPhone with one switch, right? Because he said, I need a phone with one switch. The engineer said, no way. He kept on saying, I need a phone with one switch. Finally, the engineers started working, and today we have the phones even without a switch. You can just tap and revoke the phone and then use it, right? And these phones, they don't have any switch. You can just tap. Okay, so this is what Steve did. Okay, so now we have gone through the 4 discovery skills which you can cultivate. First one is questioning the status quo. Second one is observing. The third one is networking. The fourth one is experimenting. Now we will go back to the associational thinking. I said connecting Apple with technology. Now when we hear the word Apple, we think about Apple computers or iPhone, right? So what is associational thinking? Associational thinking is connecting something which is not connectable, or which we normally can't connect. Okay, we will play a game called Try-Bound game. You can post your answers. I will just give you some a small game, and you can just post your answers. You can also, during free periods, when your school reopens, what you can do, that don't waste time chit-chatting or just all the time going for PT period. You can, the class prefect or the class leader can go to a website called Try-Bound ideate.com. And then every day there will be a challenge. Let's play with a very mediocre one. I want you to act like a kid. So think like a kid, so you will get the correct answer, because I'm looking for a funny answer. What the connection point between onion, Olympics, or wedding, or what they have in common? Okay, I'm waiting for your answers. Please type. Or you can switch on your mic and just say, onion, Olympics, and wedding, what they have in common. Come on. It's a very, very common Kusruti Chodyam, right? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. We don't have time. Quick, quick. The other schools, even the school from Uttarakhand, they responded very fast. Onion, Olympics, and wedding. Anyone, you can just type. Whatever comes to your mind, there is no wrong answer. Just type. You will see. What they have in common. Think about onion. Think about Olympics. Think about wedding. Wedding, Olympics, onion, onion, savala, or cherry ulli. Olympics, the Olympics, the mega sport event, and wedding, kalyanam. What they have in common. Come, Siddharth, come Anaman, come Ashwin. Okay, we have an answer. Someone typed here, let me see. They cry. Olympics, they cry. Onion, they cry. Wedding, they cry. Okay, that's a very good answer, even though that's not the right answer. The first time I'm getting such an answer. Abhijit, that's great. All have I. This is what Lakshmi said. No. Then all have letter I again by Nohan. Siddharth didn't do anything. Okay, keep on trying. But they cry, they make you cry is a beautiful answer. That's a beautiful answer. Anyway, all marriages don't end up in crying. Okay, I don't know. That happens in movies and serials. Okay. Okay, 2 minutes because we don't have time. The answer, anyone? I will just go. All have the letter I. Okay, then who else? Nobody else answered. Okay. They all have rings. They all have rings. Onion is having rings. Olympics, we have 5 rings representing the continents. And wedding, we used to have a ring, right? We put rings. On any custom, we put a ring. Okay, so we will go a little bit tougher one. Try again. This one, cow, school, and church. What they have in common? Okay, I'm waiting for answers. Cow, school, and church. I have an answer here. Let's see. Bell, that's a great answer, Siddharth. That's the answer. Yeah, Siddharth cracked it. Bell, yeah. Cow is having bell. School, you have a bell. And of course, the last one, the church, we are having it. Okay, one more. And this is associational thinking. Just see what's happening. We are playing this game and we are connecting, which is not connectable, right? Okay, the last one. The last one, key, mother, and surf. Key, mother, and surf. Key, mother, and surf. Key, mother, and surf. What they have in common. We have that right in front of us, in fact. Key, mother, and surf. That's a clue. That's the clue. Come on. Key, mother, and surf. Okay, I will give you another clue. It's a word which connects. It's a word which connects. We have an answer. They unlock our true potential. Surf will unlock your true potential. No. Okay. Key and mother, yes, they unlock your true potential. Okay, but there is something called surf, right? Good try, Ashwin. Good try. Keep thinking. I said it's a word which connects. So, have a lateral thinking. Quick. Okay, I will go for it. Okay, it's just keyboard, motherboard, and surfboard. That's why I said a word connects it. Anyway, no problem, no problem. So this is what the Tribond game is all about. You can go to tribond.com and you can get, everyday challenges, and you will see thousands of previous challenges. You can just click and get the answers. So the prefects will come in the morning and they write in one corner of the board. So by the end, someone can crack it, right? So this will, this is like an exercise for your brain. We do exercise to develop our muscles, right? The bodybuilders, they do. Similarly, brain is nothing but, a group of muscles. You need to keep thinking, then only it will develop, right? Okay, that's right. Now let's go back. Yeah, tribond.com. You can see now, bottom of the screen, tribond.com. Right. Now, what's an idea? So idea is nothing but is actually a new combination of old elements. Don't think that the idea is something new. It is just a combination of old elements. So I will just want to touch base something called positive deviance. So if you're faced with a problem and you are trying to find a solution, you don't need to look beyond that particular area. You need to look inside. If like one example, Jerry Sterling and his wife was invited by government of Vietnam in way back. These people were Americans to come and find a solution for the malnutrition among children, okay, undernourished children. So they kept on, many ideas came in, they kept on, bringing in medicines, supplements and all those things, but nothing happened. So one fine morning, they were just scanning through the results of all the villages. Jerry found that one particular village, the kids are all nourished, even though they are the poorest among the all villages. Okay, so that's a very good point. He went there and he observed what they are doing. What they're doing, they just catch those mothers and fathers, those parents, they just catch 1 or 2 snails, small prawns from the paddy field and boiled along with the porridge and gave to the children. So this is called positive deviance. So it's solved. The Vietnam's malnourishment, the children's problem was solved. Malnutrition was solved just because Jerry got an idea from the local thing. So, giving a tablet or a supplement, the children will not take, they have difficulty in swallowing, if the parents may forget and all those things. But, just having a modified diet, the solution was solved. Okay, so when you are facing with a problem and you need an idea to solve that particular problem, just look inside. Okay, that's the biggest thing. So how you can get ideas. So the book you see on screen is the best book. Your library should have it. Okay, how to get ideas. This is a very good book, right? Okay, so what you should do if you want to get ideas. First thing is have fun. Have fun. That's the one thing. You have to be jovial. You cannot be very rigid, or you can't be with a flexi mind. Okay, you should have an open mind and then have fun. You will get ideas. Be more like a child. Why we said you should be more like a child? That doesn't mean that you will trouble the class. You be more like a child so that, child takes risk. Children takes risk. Those entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs or Bezos or whoever, even in India, all those people, they are entrepreneurs. They take risk. You need to have the ability to take risk. We Malayalis, we have a problem. We don't have that ability because we give too much importance to, the grades and all those things, right? So be more like a child. Become an idea prone. Have an open mind. If someone is, suggesting an idea, don't shoot it down. Just explore. Okay, maybe that's the best idea, right? I can tell you an example. Become idea prone. In early 90s. I think, early 90s, when the movie Titanic was released in Trivandrum, one of the theaters in Trivandrum. The previous night, the technicians from Dolby, the first time a theater in Trivandrum is going to have Dolby, and the next day the movie Titanic is going to be released. Okay, they worked hard to setting all the speakers and everything, but at one point the noise got cut. They struggled for hours and hours and hours. And around 3 o'clock early morning, the next day, the first show is at 9 o'clock. Okay, the first releasing opening show worldwide, the Titanic. So this is going to happen. The entire theater is sold out. People will come in, but the theater is not ready. Okay, I don't want to say which theater. And they were struggling. They were just sitting, and all the technicians, the engineers who came down from from Europe and all came. They were struggling what to do. We will have only 10 minutes. Okay, so they were struggling. So what happened is, early morning, 6 o'clock, everyone had a cup of tea. Still the problem is not solved. 3 hours away from the first show, finally one old man who used to stay at the door to tear the ticket and allow the viewers to come in, he said maybe because of that particular beam which is doing the problem. Suddenly the engineers jumped, they lowered the speaker, and the problem was solved. So you have to become idea prone. If they have ignored, okay, who is this guy, uneducated old man telling an idea, they would have been in big trouble, because the show will never happen. Anyway, so be idea prone, visualize success, always visualize success, and rejoice in failure. We celebrate only successes. You need to rejoice in failure. You need to celebrate failures as well. Then only you can, you will be more idea prone. Okay, get more inputs. This is called brainstorming. Bring in more people, talk to them. Okay, then seal your fear. You should not be, okay, will I fail? No. These are the fences which are holding you back. Always break those fences, right? Then put more brains together, which is brainstorming. Rethink your thinking. Don't settle. Even if you find a solution, don't settle. Keep thinking, and learn how to combine. This is where associational thinking is going to come, right? Okay, so I have to rush a little bit. Anyway, steps for producing ideas. If you go through that particular book, which I just showed you, how to get ideas, you can see define the problem, gather the information, search for the idea, and put the idea into action. This is, design thinking basically, which we don't have time. We will take another day, or when I come over there, I can take you through, which is actually, we need 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours to take you through. Anyway, now we will, since we have only 8 minutes remaining, I will take you the final game. I will explain a situation now. You need to think, and then give me, connecting all the points, and then there are 5 steps for this particular problem, and then you need to type. Okay, let's see. Just visualize you are there. Okay, this is an accident site. This is an accident site. Have a closer look. You can see 2 vehicles. They met with an accident and they got entangled. Okay, let's look at the area. This is a deserted highway. Normally, no vehicles will come. Midnight, heavy rain, thunder, everything is happening. Okay, so these vehicles are connected, not connected, entangled, you cannot separate it. Then if you go through this straight road, after 120 kilometers, there is a city of hope, which is a city where there are a lot of hospitals and all those things are there. And if you go back 300 kilometers, there is a hospital, okay, 300 kilometers. Look around. On the other side, you can see a lot of forest, and then you can see mountain ranges, okay? Behind the mountain ranges, if you climb 10 kilometers, you can see the city of hope. And on this side, on the left side, you can see an army headquarters. You name it, you have it. Okay, they have helicopters, they have flying doctors, they have all those things. If you can climb 5 kilometers, but let me remind you again, dense forest and a huge mountain range. Look at the other side. Along with the road, again, forest, and then there is a canal. The canal is full of crocodiles, okay? The canal is connected to the sea on the other side, and you can see a narrow bridge and connecting a fishing village out here. There is a church, and then there are a lot of speedboats. You can see a lot of speedboats, right? The fishing village is connected with a narrow bridge. And if, again, forest, if you could travel straight 25 kilometers along the canal, you can see an army checkpost where there is a helicopter, 1 pilot, and 1 security. The problem here, you are the only person who escaped from this, uninjured from this accident. Your task is to save 100 people who got injured. All are bleeding. No radio, that means no wireless, no mobile phone, no land phone, no electricity, and no other vehicle you can expect at this. And midnight, heavy rains and thunder. Okay, how you will save these 100 people? Start thinking. You have 3 minutes, because total we have 5 minutes. So 3 minutes, I need an answer. It's not a single answer, it's 5-step answer. Okay, Go ahead. If you have any questions, you can just ask now. If you have any doubts, you can just put it in the chat box or switch on your mic, please. Siddharth, you have a question? Or you have an answer? TV, I think someone's television is on. Okay, think. Total, we have 4 minutes and 28 seconds. So we need an answer in 3 minutes so that I can, Anyone, please. You could see 11 people, right? Atiti, Abhijit, Ashwin, Devika, Lakshmi, Nohan, Rakshit, Siddharth, and we have another Siddharth Krishnan as well. Come on. Okay, we have one. Someone asked a question or answer. If I go to the army headquarters, we can take the buses. Nohan, we do, not only buses, there are helicopters because time is very crucial. There are helicopters, there are, you name it, you have it. This is what I said. Okay, use the speedboat to go to the hospital to call the ambulance. That is 300 kilometers and we are not sure whether this canal is going straight to the hospital or it is getting diverted. Okay, so that's not the answer. Think. We have 2 minutes remaining. The idea is to go to the army headquarters. I agree. That's the only way. But how? Try to burn the trees so army can see the smoke. It's heavy raining. So, and since you don't have petrol or kerosene, you may not be able to put a fire. Okay, Siddharth, yes. We are running out of time. Army can go to the fishing village with their vehicles. From there, they can take the speedboat and say, no. Time is very crucial. Think the other way around. Think the other way around. How are you going to inform army headquarters? Okay. How are you going to inform army headquarters? Okay. Since there's only 1 minute, can I give you the thing? Okay. So you tried. This is the thing. You will run all the way through the fishing village, the narrow village to the fishing village. Since it's night, there is no phone, nothing. Everyone is sleeping. You will go to the church and you will ring the bell. Okay. And then the villagers will wake up. They will come to you. You will tell the situation. They will run towards the bus, give first aid and all. Some people will take the speedboat, go all the way to the army checkpost, tell the pilot and the security guy. The pilot will take the helicopter and go to the army headquarters, and from there the help will come. Okay, and we will airlift the patients to the hospitals because time is very crucial. This is how you're going to solve. So the point is, when you're faced with a situation, please always try to connect all the dots. See, I've given you a narrow bridge and I've given you a church, okay? And the church is not closed, it's open. And since it's night, no electricity, you have to use the bell. You cannot just go and take this speedboat because you don't know how to, ride a speedboat, and also you don't know how to start the speedboat. So you need people, and you need people to take care of those, injured. Okay. Thank you so much. It was great interacting with you, even though we ran out of time. stay, create, connect, and develop. This is what you need to do all the time. Keep in touch. Hope one day I will come over and give you a different class altogether. Thank you, Sumi teacher, for arranging everything. And in case you have any questions, what I can do is I will share this, the handouts, so you can share with the children. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your class. A wonderful